Hello students, welcome back. This is Dr. Mercado speaking. I hope all of you are having a fabulous week. This week we are going to begin covering content from Chapter 3, which deals with Social Security taxes. Okay. Now, I can't emphasize this enough. Please make sure that you read the chapter before you attempt either your quiz or your homework. It's imperative that you understand the content before you're able to apply it to the actual problems. Okay. So, Social Security taxes. In this chapter, we're going to identify for Social Security purposes those persons covered under the law and those services that make up employment. We're going to also identify the types of compensation that are defined as wages for Social Security tax purposes, as well as apply the current tax rates and wage basis for FICA and SECA purposes. We're also going to describe the different requirements and procedures for depositing FICA taxes and income taxes withheld from the employee's wages. In this chapter, something super important that we're going to learn how to do is complete Form 941, which is the employer's quarterly federal tax return. Okay, that will be on your test. We need to know how to complete Form 941. Okay, so there's a lot of things going on in this chapter. Okay, I am not going to spend time going over the contents of the chapter. I'm going to let you all read that on your own. I'm going to focus more my lecture on problem solving because you have homework problems and you need to learn how to solve these problems, okay, and apply with the information provided to the actual problems. Now, these chapters are not very long, so it shouldn't take you maybe in about 45 minutes to read the chapter. Please don't skip that part. It is super important. It is critical that you read, okay? Now, let me jump over to the first exercise. I don't want to take too much of your time here. The first exercise that I am going to be covering is exercise 3-1A. Okay, so this problem reads, the biweekly taxable wages for the employees of Right Shop follow. We are being asked to compute the FICA taxes for each employee and the employer's FICA taxes. Then we are provided with a list of employees, their employee number, their employee name, and their biweekly taxable wages. Okay, so we have to calculate the FICA taxes, both OASDI and HI for the employee, as well as the employer's OASDI tax and employer's HI tax. Okay, so the first thing that we need to know is the FICA taxes are composed of the two taxes, the OASDI and the HI. So, the Social Security Act imposes a separate tax on employees and employers for the old age, survivors, and disability insurance. That is what OASDI stands for. Old age, survivors, and disability insurance benefits. And we also have HI, which stands for hospital insurance. Okay, so those we have two taxes that are collected from the employee and from the employer. Okay, as of the year 2020, the tax rates for both the employee and the employer portions of the tax are 6.2% for OASDI and 1.45% for HI. Okay. Now for OASDI, it's very important. This information is provided in your book. There is a limit. There is a cap. Okay. We only pay OASDI tax on the first $137,700 of earnings. Anything over $137,700 is not taxable. Okay. So the maximum tax per year is equivalent to $8,537.40. Now for the HI, there is no wage base. There's no limit. You're going to pay 1.45%. But there is a little clause there for the employee's portion of the HI. Employees have to pay an additional 0.9% on any wages over $200,000. So if you make more than $200,000, you're looking at paying anything above the $200,000 mark, the 1.45 plus on top of that 0.9% extra. Okay, so this is a very easy problem. I have it set up on Excel. I don't know if you've noticed, but most of my lectures are in Excel, and this is for all of my classes. I love Excel. And I love Excel because once you enter one formula into one of the cells and that formula is correct, you can easily drag that formula down and you get all of your answers in less than a minute. Okay? So I encourage students to utilize Excel. That way, you'll practice using it as well as streamline the process and be able to complete your assignments in a fraction of the time. Okay? I don't like to use a calculator because I tend to key in the wrong numbers and then I get the wrong output. Okay, so to me, Excel is just a wonderful tool. I've been using it forever, even when I was working in industry. When I was working in banking, I would use Excel all day. Okay, all of my spreadsheets were in Excel. I could manipulate my data, do pivot tables, do lookups, everything. So I encourage that when you're working on your homework assignments, you set up your problems similar to what I have here, and you practice your Excel skills. Okay, so what I did here is I basically copied the same information that we had on the problem over to my spreadsheet over here on the side. Okay, now OASDI, I said it was 6.2%. I went ahead and I included the 6.2% on the top. That way I know that my OASDI tax is 6.2%. So these are my tax rates right there. Okay. And then my HI is 1.45%. Okay. So now the calculation to calculate the OASDI and the HI tax is very easy. Okay. All you have to do is get your wages. In this case, I have $1,000, and you're going to multiply it by 6.2%. Okay, and that gives you $62 of OASDI. Okay, and then for HI, you're going to get the $1,000 and you're going to multiply it by 1.45%. Okay, the key here is knowing your rates. Okay, you need to be able to identify your rates are not provided in the problem. You need to know that OASDI is 6.2%, HI is 1.45%. Okay, so then that gives me $14.50. Now, if I were to do this in a calculator, it would take me some time to go through all of these calculations, and then I run the risk of, typing something incorrectly and getting something wrong. Okay, I'm going to show you how to do it in Excel. And I know this is not an Excel class, but I do want you all to learn how to use Excel. And in the process, I will be explaining the formula as well. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to enter an equal sign. Okay, that starts my formula. Okay, then I'm going to enter the round. Okay, why am I rounding? Because I want to round to 2 decimal places. Okay, so I'm going to round, and what am I going to round? I'm going to round the $1,000 times my rate of 6.2%. Okay, I'm going to close my parentheses. Now I'm going to go back over here to my formula bar on the top left hand corner, and I'm going to click the little FX where it says insert function. Okay, and it opens up a window for you. Here I'm letting it know how many digits do I want to round. Well, I want to round to 2 digits. Okay, so that's what I'm going to be doing. Okay, I'm going to round to 2 digits. Right here it tells you the formula result. It'll be $62 with 00 cents. Okay, I'm going to do OK. Okay, that gives me my $62. Okay, now I'm going to click back on my cell for the $62, and I'm going to go back to my formula bar. Okay, if I double click it, it'll show me what I'm doing. I'm multiplying that $1,000 times the 6.2%. Okay, well, I want to copy this formula down to all of my other employees. I don't want to do this calculation for each employee. Okay, so in order for us to be able to drag the formula down, we need to anchor the percentage rate down here. Okay, so what's going to happen is in this column, the $1,000 is going to go down to $968 to $1,004 to $1,046.40. So it's going to be moving down, but I don't want the 6.2% to change. I want that number to be anchored. I want it to be fixed. I want all of these numbers to be multiplied by that one cell. Now, what cell am I anchoring? I'm anchoring R3. Okay, so I'm going to look at R3 and I'm going to anchor that. How do I anchor, Ms. Mercado? Well, you're going to go ahead and you're going to put your cursor in front of the R3, okay? And then you're going to press F4, okay? Okay, what F4 does, it puts a $sign in front of the R and a $sign in front of the 3. That anchors that number. And what does anchor mean? It means that that cell will stay fixed. So the formula will be 968 times 6.2, 1,004 times 6.2. 1,046.40 times 6.2. That's what it's doing. It's keeping that 6.2 fixed. Okay, so the formula on the left hand side where the weekly taxable wages are, that is going to be moving downward, but my rate will not. My rate will be fixed. Okay, so once I have my formula, which is equals round and I selected the $1,000, which is Q5, times my rate of 6.2%, and I am rounding to 2 decimal places. I can hit enter. Okay. Once I hit enter, I'm going to select the cell, and on the right bottom corner, there's a little green box. You're going to click that little box and you're going to drag down. Okay. And voila. Okay. You've got all of your numbers populating. Okay. And if you click on any of those cells, those formulas, if you can easily see what it's doing. It's multiplying the biweekly taxable wage times the 6.2%. Okay. Now that I've gotten all my calculations, I can sum. I'm going to do sum because I want to add everything in this column right here, and I'm going to get my total. So my total is 457.89. I'm going to do the same thing for my HI. Okay, your HI is going to be equal. Always do the round. Okay, so I'm going to do round. I'm going to do my 1,000 times the 1.45%. Okay, I'm going to anchor the 1.45%. That is S3. And how do I anchor? I put my cursor in front of the S, and then I press F4. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go back to my formula bar, and I'm going to say I want to round to 2 digits. Okay, and that gives me $14.50. Once my formula is complete, which I multiplied the 1,000 times the 1.45%, and we're rounding to 2 decimals, I can go ahead and just click on that cell, go to the right bottom corner here of the cell, and drag it down. Okay, and then all of your calculations will automatically be done. Okay, so then I can just sum total of that information, and that gives me 107.9. So you see how fast it is in Excel. Okay, now if you feel more comfortable using the calculator, it's fine with me. You know, it's just a matter of preference. Just remember, it's going to be your taxable wages times 6.2%, and that will give you the $62, or it'll be the $1,000 times 1.45%, and that will give you the $14.50. Okay, either way it works. So this is the amount that is going to be deducted from Manny Castro's paycheck for OASDI. Okay, $62. And we're also going to deduct $14.50 from Manny Castro for HI. These are the taxes that the employees are responsible to pay. So this is going to be withheld from their paycheck. Now the employer also has to pay a portion of their taxes for FICA. Okay, so in order for us to be able to do that, the first thing we do is we get a total of your taxable wages. Okay, my total is $7,385.20. That is how much wages I'm paying this pay period. Okay, so over here they're asking you, what are your taxable wages? My taxable wages are the $7,385.20. I'm going to pay taxes on all of my wages here. Okay, so that is for both figures. Taxable wages are $7,385.20. Now, how much does the employer have to pay on those on the wages earned? Well, the employer has to pay. I'm going to get my taxable wages, and I'm going to multiply it by my 6.2%. Okay, and that gives you $457.88 for the employer's OASDI. Okay. Now for the employer's HI, I'm going to get the total taxable wages for HI purposes, and I'm going to multiply it by my rate of 1.45%, and the employer has to pay $107.09 for the employer's portion of the HI tax. Okay, so it's just once you get the total from your taxable wages, you get the total that goes into your total taxable wages. Once you've got your total taxable wages, you get your total taxable wages times your OASDI rate. That gives you your OASDI tax. Your taxable wages times your HI tax of 1.45%. That gives you your HI tax for the employer. Okay, so this is how you do it. This is how you do exercise 3.1. Not difficult, just a little time consuming if you do it by hand. That is why I recommend that you use Excel. This is the formula. You select the amount of the weekly wages that you're going to be multiplying times the rate. You use the round function here. That way you round to the 2 decimals. If you don't use the round function, then you might be off a cent or two because your rounding is going to be off. Okay? So to prevent that from happening, use the round function. And I am rounding to 2 decimal places. Okay? So this is the formula that you would need to follow. Okay? So that is it for this problem. Like I said, very easy, nothing very complex. It's just a matter of multiplying the rate times the taxable wages. Okay. So that is basically it. Until next time, have a great day.